Does that mean I have to give up on my socials when I go on a fat loss phase? That's what clients would always ask me during consultations. Well, let's talk about it in this video about the 3 factors we do want to consider for socials when we want to lose fat and keep it off. Follow along as I navigate around this situation as well on another week of my recomp phase. I'm Nicole, and this is Beyond the Binary. A lot of the fitness content these days can really skew reality and make you think that you've got to take extreme drastic measures like 75 hard, cut out sugar, fasting, go on monk mode, train every day just to drop those pounds fast. It's either go hard or go home, but a lot of the times you go so hard just to rebel right after. Eat all the cake and cookies like there's no tomorrow. We all end up going home anyway, and that's kind of what happened with me. It's all or nothing, it's always nothing. Isn't that why fitness is $1 billion industry? To keep you in this dirty cycle of regaining all your weight so that you go out and you buy another 4-week or 8-week challenge, or perhaps another weight loss drug that you probably don't really need. That's why I hate all this extreme crap. Not that it has no merits, by the way. Some people can keep up with these habits that they got from these diets and be completely okay with it. But a lot of people like myself and a lot of my clients, it can affect the way we look and interact with food, with our body, not to mention how disruptive it can all be for our female hormones. So here's a different approach that creates a better balance between fat loss and maintenance. Instead of thinking of a switch that just turns on and off, I like to think of accepting socials as a dial when in fat loss and in maintenance. That means it's not just all rejections or all yeses. It's more about how many yeses or how many nos we're going to say on a fat loss phase and on a maintenance phase. How you turn that dial really depends on the 3 factors. First one being timeline and your end goal. Say when you're on the fat loss phase, the longer timeline you give yourself, the more leeway you're gonna have. Granted, you'll still need to adjust the way you interact with your food during the socials when you do say yes to those. So let's say you give yourself the 3 months to shed more than 10% of your body weight. You'd probably want to say no to some of the socials where you have a little bit less control over food. But if you've got a 6-month timeline, now that's where you have some weekends to enjoy. Don't go all out. Don't eat like an asshole. I think the previous mistake I made was I thought I could get away with a lot of different socials before because I knew my calorie balance. A lot of times the calories that are there are at most estimates. So I would always underestimate a lot of the calories that I'm consuming during these socials, like when going on drinks, you have these snacks, things get out of hand. In order to not make that mistake again, even during a recomp phase now, which is like mostly at my maintenance phase, I would make sure that my socials are controllable as much as possible. And I would make sure to allocate more calories for those. That leads me to the second factor. How much of a priority are these socials for you right now? Is it a regular weekly night out, or is it like a one-off celebration here and there? When I went on a fat loss phase, I rarely went out for dinners, and I only stuck with like really controllable options like sashimi or Western restaurants that offer protein-based meals. Like I wouldn't mind a good steak. But now that I'm more on a calorie maintenance during training days, I have more flexibility to enjoy a bit more while practicing some mindful eating, not treating myself like a trash can, actually eating a little bit slower so that my hunger cues can catch up. So I'm off to training now. Like when you see someone with like an incredible physique and you're like, wow, that person must be so disciplined. It must be like doing everything really strict and all that. But when you're actually in it, it doesn't feel strict at all because it feels aligned with whatever you're doing. And that makes you rethink what discipline can look like for you. My mom swims every day, and with no fail, even like when we're snowed in, she would just go to the Y and so gets her swimming done. She's been doing from within 50 years. And you're wondering, how does that person become that disciplined? How do people even get there? It's more about finding the obsession of a feeling. That's what drives Will to just take action that feels aligned. This is the biggest entry I've ever seen. No wonder I'm here every day. I'm out. And here's the third factor. What's your tendency like during socials? How do you act? Do you eat like a basement dweller who hasn't seen food in a century? Or are you mindful of your choices? Do you go like, oh, screw it, another glass won't hurt, I'll just do better tomorrow? Or do you stick to your gun? If you're always saying one won't hurt and you're having these get-togethers every week, you'll probably end up spinning your wheels and wonder if it's your metabolism that's the issue, when really it's the extra calories every weekend that puts you back into maintenance. And if that's the case, perhaps it's just wise to say no to the ones where you know there will be certain people who will pressure you into caving in, or you're just gonna be letting loose. I've got a client right now who'd be getting dinners and get-togethers weekly, and she's still making progress. That's because she practices very intentional habits and is smart about budgeting her calories. Whereas I'd have another client who says no to more socials so she can be dialed in. So at the end of the day, there's really no one size fits all. Whatever you choose, there will always be a trade-off. If you're gaining a lot of weight during travels and you always feel like crap afterwards, the next episode will actually cover how to avoid that, but still enjoy your trip. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Thanks for watching and see you next time.